Hello and welcome to another complete Cambridge IGCSE PE lesson, the 6th topic in Chapter 10, Global Events. As always, you'll cover absolutely everything you need to know for your exam, and today you need to be able to identify the advantages and disadvantages of hosting global sports events, and to understand how global sports events can affect areas of sport and society. Global events include the Olympics, football, rugby and cricket World Cups, Commonwealth Games, Paralympics and the World Swimming Championships. These competitions are typically hosted by a single city or nation that provides the space, facilities and anything else needed to ensure the event runs smoothly. Hosting a major global event has become a sought-after prize for cities and nations, with teams of delegates often spending years preparing to make their bid. The celebrations amongst the Japanese contingent when Tokyo is announced as the host city for the 2020 Olympic Games tells us that there must be a number of advantages for the host, which we'll take a look at now. Firstly, improved sports facilities are built in preparation for the competition, which can be used for many years afterwards, benefiting clubs, performers and fans. For example, West Ham Football Club adopted the London Stadium as their home ground following the 2012 Olympic Games. Host nations also benefit from home advantage, as competing in a familiar environment and climate and having the backing of the huge home fan base often results in improved performances. To illustrate this point, of the 21 Football World Cups to have taken place, 6 have been won by host nations. Hosting a major event like the Olympics also creates a buzz amongst citizens, which can help to foster a sense of positivity or national pride. The tourism industry also gets a boost, with an increase in visitors to the country spending money on hotels, food, souvenirs and so on. If people's experiences are positive, the nation's status as a tourist destination may improve, inspiring more people to visit in the future. Preparing for and running a global event creates a huge number of jobs for the locals, which, in addition to tourist spending, may significantly strengthen a nation's economy. The event is also likely to leave behind a legacy, as increased interest can lead to greater participation in sports, and the new world-class facilities can be used for both elite training and community events. Finally, in order to deal with the huge number of visitors during an event, infrastructure around the venues such as roads, rail networks and accommodation is improved, offering long-term benefits to the local society. Despite all these fantastic benefits, hosting a major sporting competition can also have its drawbacks, as a number of host nations have discovered over the years. So let's take a look at the disadvantages of hosting a global event. Stadia and training facilities can be a potential target of terrorists or those seeking to make their political views known. For example, during the 1972 Olympic Games in Munich, 11 Israeli athletes were taken hostage inside the Olympic training village and tragically murdered. Home advantage also has a downside, as home nations are generally expected to perform well, which can add pressure to the situation for athletes. In terms of national pride, if the host nation doesn't perform well, it could lead to feelings of negativity and pessimism and a lowering of morale. Increased tourism may put too much pressure on facilities, leading to traffic jams and overcrowding, which could in turn create bad publicity for the host nation. The economy could also take a hit if funding is poorly managed. For example, the 2016 Rio Olympics ended up costing more than $13 billion, and Brazil were left with debts in at least the tens of millions. Legacy benefits can also disappear, as facilities quickly become run down and disused if not maintained and managed properly, while the cost of developing infrastructure can leave countries in even more financial trouble. Now, all the advantages and disadvantages discussed so far are from the perspective of the host nation. Of course, there are also a number of benefits for the performers themselves, and you need to be able to identify several from this list. I therefore recommend you pause the video here to note down some of the key points. Now, you've just covered everything you need to know on topic 10.6, Global Events. If you'd like to practice applying what you've learned, you can find a link to every Cambridge past paper down in the description. As always, I hope you found this lesson useful, and I'll see you in the next one.